Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Shirazam Siddiqui. Today I am going to present a lecture on mouse. So let us see the main contents that will cover our today's lecture. So here are the main contents including introduction of mouse, invention of mouse, physical description of mouse, mouse names come from where, mouse is mice, types of mouse, and function of mouse. Let us discuss these contents in a detailed way. So first of all, we will see about the introduction of mouse. What is a mouse and when it is used? So mouse is a point device. What is a point device? A point device are the devices that are used to control the pointer on the screen. As we know that a pointer is a small arrow on the screen of mouse that control all the documents of computer. So we will see when a mouse was used. So in late 20th centuries, almost in 1980s, the use of mice was on its peaks. Why it was used? Because it is more convenient and easy to use. It is basically work on the movement of the cursor on screen. Scientists tested different mouse, so they come to know that it is easy way to use with the computer. Next slides is about invention of mouse. Here you are see in the picture the first mouse was made up of wood. The scientist who was invented the first mouse was also called father of modern mice. His name was Douglas England Berg. The main purpose of the invention of mouse so that it is easily fitted in the user that is use a computer for their working. So our next slide is about the mouse physical description. Let us discuss about the slide. Uh, we know that there are different shapes and size of mice, but we all know that all mice are designed so that they fit either in right hand or in left hand. A usually mouse has two buttons. The left click and right clicks are the main function of these buttons. In addition of these two buttons, mice has also a scroll wheel in the center. The main function of the scroll to quickly move the screen up and down. So this slide has some funs. So we will study about the history of mouse, how the mouse come its name. We know that there are two types of mouse, animal mouse and the computer mouse. You are see that they both of them have same shape. Both of them has tail. So the computer mouse is just look like a animal mouse because it has a tail in the shape of coil. So that's why we call it a mouse. Now we will study about the two terms mouse vs mice. There is no rocket science between these two terms. So when we talking about a singular, we refer to a computer as a mouse. When we talking about two or more, In a plural sense, we refer them as a mice or mouses, although mice is a more standard you have seen in this slide as well. Now we will study about the types of mouse. There are different types of mouse like wireless, optical, trackball, mechanical and joystick mouse. Let us discuss all these types one by one in a detailed way. First of all, we will discuss about the optical mouse, how we will recognize this typical type of mouse. The key feature to recognize optical mouse is that the attachment of wire with mouse. You have also seen in this slide, it has a wire attached with it, and a light that is attached at the mid of the behind of this type of mouse. So that's why we will recognize this type of optical mouse, and almost all the mouses that we use in today are optical mouses. And now about wireless mouse. As from its name, it is a mouse that is without a wire. Most wireless mice use radio frequency to communicate with each other. Because why we use radio frequency in this typical type of mouse? Because radio frequency has high energy so that it's communicate easily with different users. Now about the joystick mouse, as you seen in this slide, it is the most unusual type of mouse. A joystick mouse is look like a pencil. It is designed by a person name was Gordon Stewart. The main use of this mouse for web browsing and office working. Now we will study a major part of mouse, the function of mouse, how mouse will functions. The primary function is to move the mouse cursor on the screen. As from slides you have seen, the sequence is that when you move the cursor to an icon, folder or other object or double clicking, then open the documents. Now we will study about the scrolling of mouse. As we studied earlier that mouse has two buttons with the addition of scrolling. So there are a lot of function of scrollings, but we will study the main functions of scrolling. One of the primary function is of scrolling is up and down of any documents. We will easily up and down the documents by using of scrolling button. Second function of scrolling is that when you click any link, it automatically open in next bar, and when you push scrolling button, it close that link. So these are the main functions of scrolling buttons. We all know that there is no mouse in the laptop. So what is a replacement of mouse in a laptop? So we will see the answer of this question in the next slide. So touchpad is used as a replacement of mouse in a laptop, and some Lenovo still use take point for a replacement of mouse. Here is one more question. So what is the question? What does a smartphone or tablet use for a mouse? So what is a replacement of mouse in a tablet or a smartphone? So We will see a question in next slide. So we know that the tablets and smartphone has a no mouse. So what is the replacement of mouse in that devices? The replacement is our hand. Our hand acts like a mouse in that devices. And another option is that we will easily connect mouse with that devices if we have easy to use a mouse. Now we will discuss about the variation in mouse. As we know that science has brought a great revolution in every aspect of life. So mouse is one of the example of uh, this aspect. If we see in the first mouse, it was a quite round and a huge one. So with the advancement of technology, the size of mouse was is reduced day by day, and motion of mouse is also used. Now we will use laser scroll wheel that wasn't used in 1980s or early 21st century. This slide is a funny. So we know that there are two types of mouse: animal mouse and computer mouse. So when computer wasn't invented, there is a one mouse, but when computer is invented, there are two types of mouse: animal mouse and a computer mouse. So we are see that two types of mouse in that slide. As we studied earlier, that most modern mouses has three parts: a case and two button and scrolling. We have studied about the function of scrolling and button as well. In this slide we are seeing different designs of mouses. So the main factor of the designing of different designs of mouse is user comfortness. So the modern mouses use a scroll wheeler. uh, what is a function of scroll wheeler? A scroll wheeler is also available on most mouses, making it easy to view in web pages and folder. In this slide, we will study about the different ports that will connect with mouse. So here are the some ports that will connect with the mouse for their different uses. The ports included Bluetooth, PS2 port, serial port, USB, infrared. So here is a typical diagram of mouse: a left click button, a right click button, and mid scroll wheel. We have already discussed the main function of these all parts of mouse in a detailed way. So we we will end this topic. So goodbye and take care.